Welcome to CorrespondenceCommittee.com. This is Pie Guy here. I'm here to help you out with the new comments box. This is a big change. On the old Blogspot site, you used to have to type in your message and add any HTML code and then look preview to make sure it looked like you wanted. This comments box on CorrespondenceCommittee.com is its own preview box. As you type is how it will look. It's basically called a WYSIWYG interface. What you see is what you get. Although the font itself might be different. But what's bold, highlighted, and other features will appear pretty much as they do in the comments box itself. We're going to start with some quick typing tips here. Now I'm going to type in, this is simple sample text. I hit return and type, this is more text, and you notice it gets you a paragraph spacing right between it. That's not the only type of spacing you can do. If you hold down the shift key and hit return, you do get what's called a break return, which you can also call really close text to the line above it. So there's one handy thing you may not have known. But let's move on to the toolbar. All these cool little tools. I'll move from left to right to show you how they work. Let's say I want the word sample in the first line bolded. I just highlight that word. In this case, I can double click on it or highlight it however your system allows to do it. And I just click on the B for bold. You can also use Control B on your keyboard. This is simple sample text. You notice as sample remains highlighted, that B, that square remains around the B. I'm going to take it off, and now since nothing's highlighted, there are no indications here. But I'm going to go back and highlight that text again, and that B goes back on. This is sort of a status, tells you what's on and off. And it only concerns that which is highlighted, of course. Now I'm going to highlight bolded and non-bolded text. What happens? Well, the bold sign says there's some bolded text here, so I'm just going to be on. I click it, both will be off. If I click it, both will be on. Oh, and nice thing is, this is italics, which you can mix, underline, you can mix these styles, and strike through. By the way, strike through and underline don't really work together. So you can basically have one or the other, because you really don't need a line below it or above it. There we go. I'm going to turn all that off. Well, let's leave the bold on. There we go. So now you know about bold, italics, underline, and strike through. Let's do something a little more unusual. We're going to do what's called subscript and superscript, or how do you get those little numbers above and below the line? Well, I'm going to put things E equals MC2. Wait, that's not right. That should be E equals MC squared. H2O when you're talking about water, or H2SO4 when you're talking about sulfuric acid. Well, those don't look quite right. I need that 2 to go up, what's called superscripted. So I'm going to highlight that 2. And there's two X symbols up here. The one with it below it is subscript, but I need it superscripted with the X with the 2 above it. There we go. And let's do the same thing here for only superscripted for H2O and H2SO4. Let's say many people aren't familiar with H2SO4, so I want to type the phrase, this is sulfuric acid in it, using normal text. Let's see, this is sulfuric acid. Oh, but since I started typing right after the 4, and that was subscripted, so is the rest of the text. So I'm going to highlight everything but the 4 and turn off the subscripting. There we go. And now this is sulfuric acid. Looks like regular text. Now, what if you want to do a list and make it look really nice? I want to do item 1, hit return here. Sorry, hit a wrong key there. Item 2. and item 3. Well, you could do a list like that, but there's 2 buttons up here that will help you do what's called an unordered list, which is just a list with bullet points, or an ordered list, which has things like 1, 2, 3. So you just highlight what's to be in the list. I'm going to make this an unordered list, but I can switch it over to an ordered list. Again, you can't have both on because something is either an unordered list or an ordered list. You can also turn them off and they go right back as they were. Now, what if you want to do links? This is very important. I want to create a link to Instapundit. The old way to do it would be to type in all the complex code, and it had to open in the same window. It wouldn't let you do that otherwise. Oh yeah, and look at that, it flows over. That doesn't look good. Plus, if I hit the submit button right now, you're actually going to see all that code, ahref. So let's make this into a link. Remember, the comments box is its own preview box, so I'm going to highlight Instapundit, and 2 icons that were formerly grayed out, create link and break link, are now highlighted. I want to create a link to Instapundit. So I'm going to click on Insert/Edit Link. You can go back and edit just like you go back and edit, say, the bold and italic. So bring this down here where you can see it. This window comes up. I'm going to put in the link URL, and I'm going to set the target. This is cool. You can have it intentionally open in the same window or the new window. You can just ignore that, but I want this to open in a new window when it's clicked. I'm going to click the Insert button, and now we have an actual Instapundit link. I can't actually test the link in the comments box itself, but when I hit Submit and create this, you'll see that it does work and it does open a new window automatically. Now, I can go back if I want and change that, oh, I want the old, I just want Pajamas Media, or what have you. Actually, since it says Instapundit, see, I could edit to go just Pajamas Media, but I want it to stay Instapundit since the link says Instapundit. This, by the way, the title, if you didn't already, if you want to change the text in there, you can do that here. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to update any of this for now. Couple more quick features. How to quote text. This is quoted text. This is not. It all looks the same. I'm going to highlight this as quoted text and go up and hit the quote button, and there you have it. And again, turn it off if needed. I'm going to leave that on. Couple last quick things here. Let's say you want to do some special symbol. Well, that's what the omega symbol is up here for. Insert custom character. I click that, and a menu comes up. That happened kind of quick, so I'll do that again. This menu comes up, select custom character, and it has a wide variety. So if you want things like TM, you just put them in there and they appear. The old way to do this, by the way, was and trade. If I type this in and submit, the ampersand, the trade, and the semicolon will all appear just as they appear here. So if I want to do something like this, little old lady brand, let's put a space there, fruit cup, and put a TM after it. The old way would have been this, but all you'll see there is and trade. I don't want to do that. I want the actual TM. So I'll bring up that menu, select TM, and it just adds it. There's another way to do it too. If you want to do some special HTML editing, maybe you found a few advantages of that in the old Blogspot site, just click the HTML button and a big source editor comes up. I can't show you the whole thing in this window here, but there it is. I want to add that and trade there, so this is the HTML source. This is where you can do that. See, I typed that ampersand, the word trade, and a semicolon. And now, click update, and we get the TM that way as well. This has been a basic introduction on the comments. Hope it helps you learn all about it, and I'll see you on the board.